Okay, sorry about that. So gather information about different independent schools in your area and other areas according to your child's strengths. Remember that's important to look for schools according to your child's strength and not what according to what everybody else is saying. Look at websites, brochures, social media pages to understand their mission, vision, and academic progress. The next thing is to visit schools. Schedule visits to the shortlisted schools that you have. If you're not sure, obviously book an appointment with me or join the Everything's Education community and we can help you with that. This will give you a first-hand look at the schools, classrooms and facilities and overall atmosphere. I always talk about the gut test. If your gut says no, then it's not the school for you. And I also talk about the spirit test. If you're a believer, if your spirit is telling you no, or if your spirit is jumping for joy and saying yes, then that's a school that you need to apply for and completely get yourself ready to go there. The next thing you have to do is meet with teachers, administrators, and students to get a sense of the school community. Consider the academic programs, evaluate the curriculum and teaching methods. Consider whether the school offers a well-rounded education that aligns with your child's needs and interests. It's important to look at the class size and teacher-student ratio. So consider the size of the classes and the teacher-student ratio. We know that data tells us that smaller class sizes often allows for a more personalized attention and closer knit community. And it also allows for your child to be seen and their talents to be seen and their gifts to be seen. And that's really, really important. The next thing is to assess the school's culture and values. Consider whether they align with your family values. And that's really important. There's no point putting a child in a school that doesn't align with your family values. If you are a Christian family and the school has no Christian ethos, you have no business placing your child in there. No business whatsoever. If the environment is supportive of your child's growth and development, it's really important to look at that. Is my child going to thrive here? Not survive, but thrive and grow and really become that confident child growing into an adult. Also, look at the extracurricular activities. Explore the availability of extracurricular activities, such as sports, art, music, and clubs. A well-rounded education often includes opportunities beyond the classroom. And I always talk about this. My children pursued lots of extracurricular activities, but they had a passion for music and for drama and for art. And so that's where I allowed them to grow. And the school supported them right from prep school all the way to secondary school. Look at the teacher quality. You can ask the school about the qualifications and the experience of the teaching staff. It makes no sense to, you're putting your child in a school, you're putting your child in an environment where you have no idea whether the person who is qualified to even deliver the information that you need your child to have. So for example, a lot of times we're asking for advice from people who were never qualified to validate us in the first place. Teachers are validating who our children are. But if they don't have the right qualifications, how can they now come and be feeding our children? You've got to ask all those questions. Hold the school accountable. Investigate the ability to support your child. Ask about counselling. There's a slight spelling mistake there. Ask about support services, learning support. Be completely honest and open with the school. Get your EHCP plan in place. If you have any learning support needs, make sure that you join our Learning Differently community and you get the information that you need. Parental involvement. Consider the level of support that is encouraged by the school, because you have to have an input in how your child is raised in the school. And there's nothing wrong with that. I always talk about the triangle approach. and having your role, your child's role, and the school's role. It's important to have a strong partnership between the parent and the school because, at the end of the day, if your child is going all the way through the school at whatever stage, they're going to have to advocate for your child. And what you don't want to do is burn bridges. And also, you want to make sure that your child has a positive educational experience in the school. It's really important that we talk about the admissions process. So when you're visiting a school, find out about the admissions process, understand the process and understand the deadlines. I've had parents that sadly have missed out on great opportunities for their children and they're there begging the school back and forth for a place for their child. But the bottom line is they missed the deadline. Yes, everything's education has got good relationships and sometimes we can speak on behalf of a child to get them into to open access into that school, but sometimes we can't rely on just that. And so what we do rely on is that we are informed parents, empowered parents, we stick to deadlines, we know how to do things correctly. Third thing is always trust your instincts. And I've spoken about this before. What is your spirit saying? What's your gut saying? What is the small voice in your head saying about this school? Is it right for you? And we don't pick schools just because our friends' kids go there. We pick schools according to the outcomes that we're expecting to get for our child. I want you to also remember that every child is different. Every child is different. I'm going to open it up for questions in just a short moment, in the next 2 minutes. Every child is different. So one of the things that I always talk about is being part of a community, being part of like-minded parents. And I'm sure lots of you are part of free communities, but what's very different, everything's education community, is because of the connections that I have with schools. It's because of the fact that I am a product of the school that you're trying to get your child into, whether it's independent schools. And I have lots of experience with state schools, but I always say that I want our children to be sat at the right tables with the right networks, having the right conversations. And we know that there are some people that are only in government and running certain organizations because they got the right friends. Let's be really honest. Let's not talk about the Diane Abbott debacle that has happened recently. And the only reason why people are shielding him is because that's their friend. They went to school with him. And so what do you get for £20 a month? 2 Zooms. You can ask Elaine anything and you have access to an amazing community and schools. Thank you so much for listening. I am now going to open up for questions. Please put your hand up for the questions. If there's anything you need me to go over, anything that you need to ask me when it comes to asking about and looking for the right school for your child. Please do not be shy.
Hey, Elaine. We've got a question in the group. What is an acceptable teacher to student ratio?
Well, 30 kids in a class is not. I think more like 18, 20 at the very max is a good one, is a very good one. And you tend to get that in independent schools. I mean, if you don't get it in, I'm just going to stop the recording. If you don't get it in